It is the top of the hour, so you know what? Let's get started. So, welcome everyone to the Vancouver Power BI and Modern Excel User Group Meetup for Thursday, September 21st. We've got Alex Kolokolov. Hopefully, I got that about right.
Yes.
Is joining us for his presentation on extracting maximum value from KPI cards in Power BI. Before we get to Alex's presentation, though, I'm just going to go through and do the usual presentation that we've actually got here for. Oh, I think that one. Oh, that looks right. Good. Timing's always different when we're playing in a different time zone than we normally do. So I want to say a big thanks to our sponsors. Skillwave Training is the site that I run with Matt Allington, which is dedicated to getting you the most out of Excel and Power BI to build amazing business intelligence models and really uncover insights in your organization. If you are looking for great training, we highly recommend checking out our site. Excel Guru is the parent company of Skillwave and also the distributor of my Monkey Tools add-in for Excel, which helps you build better data models faster. So if you haven't checked that out and you're doing your work in Excel, you should definitely have a look at what Monkey Tools has to offer. Our next meetups that we have coming up. In a couple of weeks, I'm excited to be welcoming Eric Ohm. He's going to be talking about micro automations. The robots are coming. He's going to be talking about how to actually introduce micro automations into Excel to make your work a little bit more efficient. Some cool stuff here. I've had a sneak peek of some of the stuff he's done. I think it's going to be a great session. And then our next Power BI track, I'm super excited to be bringing back Alex Powers, who's going to be talking about Microsoft Fabric for Power BI users. If you were caught out by the recent rebranding, or I don't know if it's so much rebranding, but this big thing that happened with Power BI, suddenly everything's Fabric everywhere, and you're trying to figure out what the heck is going on. Alex is going to tell us what that's all about. So you'll be able to learn what's happening in the Power BI
Hello?
/ Fabric space. Hang
Hello?
on a second. I've got someone on my thing
Hello?
here that I need to obviously just quickly go through and mute. So there we go. Actually, I'm going to mute everybody, and then I'm going to bring you back in, Alex, or I'm going to get you to unmute afterwards once I get through my part here. So, all right. New in Monkey Tools for this particular month here. Just recently on September 18th, I released a new monospaced font in all the coding windows for better readability. And this update was based on a user request. Specifically in this one here, some of our forms actually had monospace fonts before, some of them didn't. So I've now made it consistent across the board. I've settled on the Consolus font. And the reason why I've chosen this particular one is because you can actually see in the code examples here, if you look at something like vol override, this variable here, this is a capital O, and you can see down here, we've actually got a 0. So we've chosen a font that very specifically calls out the difference between capital O and 0 with the strike through to make your coding a little bit easier to read. And this is just a couple of samples from some of the different forms that we actually have. So a nice little update to Monkey Tools to help make things a little bit easier to work with. I also want to mention that on October 11th is when we're starting off a next semester with kickoff calls for my Excel Fundamentals Bootcamp. So if you or someone on your team needs some good training to get up to speed and get prepped for doing data modeling and whatnot, the Excel Fundamentals Bootcamp is a fantastic program for this. We teach you the basics of formulas and Power Query, pivot tables, data visualization in this course. It is as I say, it's a great resource here that'll give you a lot of training. It's got live Ask Ken sessions to go through and actually, help apply things to your own work and whatnot. So it's a fantastic program for getting ready for Power Pivots and advanced business modeling. And then when we talk about those components, that's where we have our self-service BI bootcamp, which also kicks off on October 11th. That's when our next kickoff call is. And in this one here, we assume you know some basic Excel formulas and you've worked with pivot tables before, but we're going to teach you about Power Query, Power Pivot, Power BI, and a whole bunch more. It's a very comprehensive program, and it is well worth checking out. So if you're interested, and thank you for the comment there, Stanton, I appreciate that. I am always looking to get new people in to teach them what we can about Excel and Power BI. This meetup, along with every meetup that we have, of course, is recorded and uploaded, usually within 24 to 48 hours. It will be this time for sure. Those are all hosted on our Skillwave YouTube channel. So you can always go back and rewatch the meetup or catch any that you missed, or go and relive some of the great ones for posterity. Once I've got this uploaded, we do post in the meetup channel, so you'll know when it's available. And then we even give you the link right to it so you can go back and watch it later. So watch out for that if you're looking to pick up some of the tricks that Alex is going to show and want to relive those. If you're looking for some bite-sized videos, we're featuring a couple of our monkey shorts videos here, how to merge columns with Power Query and merge multiple rows into a single cell. These are both 3 minutes or less of technical content that you can pick up on YouTube for completely free. There's a whole bunch of them available at the Monkey Shorts playlist. The last thing that I'm going to mention here is if you would like to get involved and come and present to our meetup group, we would love to have you. Just fill out this little form here at xlguru.ca/speakatvanpug. And once you've hit your submission in and sent it to us, we will get in touch and make sure that we can get you on our stage. And that is my portion of the slide deck for today. So at this point in time, I'm going to stop sharing here. And Alex, I'm going to see if I can't... it is not letting me unmute you at this point for some reason. So I'm hoping that you can unmute yourself. It looks like you have.
Yes, I'm hear you.
Awesome, I can hear you. So that's the important part. All right, my friend, the floor is yours. What do you got for us today?
Thank you for interaction. So my name is Alex, and I'm going to tell you about key performance indicator visualization. I'm not sure that maybe you turned off your camera. Do you hear me well?
Yep, I can hear you absolutely perfectly. I just turned off my camera, so the focus is on you.
I just was confused that your screen was frozen. Okay, let me start. And today I will tell you about importance of small KPI visualization and the results of my research, how to find the best visual, the best advanced visual, which fits all the requirements for demanding customers, for building dashboards. And I will share my experience and my checklist how to find the appropriate visual for your tools. So briefly about me, I work with Microsoft BI since 2009, and so I have an agency, and we develop more than 300 dashboards, and our key competence is sophisticated data visualization for demanding customers, for executive level dashboards, for boards, and we work with corporations, and I work as a project lead, architect, and as an evangelist of data visualization with actually with Microsoft technologies, with simple dashboards with Excel, and sophisticated dashboards with Power BI, and now have upcoming book visual vocabulary for Power BI, and this release will be next year. And even going through this way, I have founded a special data visualization award, Make Your Data Speak, which we started last year, and we will do it again. And really, this day I started from a bad news, because now it's evening for me, because today I knew that my project, which I applied to another data visualization award, maybe you've heard about Information is Beautiful award, the most prestigious award in the field of data visualization, and they have special nomination for business analytics, but my project was didn't pass to the short list as any Power BI dashboard. So I'm applying for the second time, and really my goal is to prove that Power BI is more advanced tool than Tableau or any custom visualization platform, and I'm doing this year by year. But today I realize that not even me as a data professional, but Power BI as a community, as a platform is still not recognized among data artists. that's my bad news. But I keep going on, and I hope that I will prove that we work with not only this tool for data modeling or for traditional financial reporting. I will prove that we use this tool for advanced, beautiful visualization. And when we work with dashboard, with dashboards, we pay much attention to the top of any dashboard, any single screen, where we put key indicators. That's an example of international trade statistics. But when we select any category, we look at these key indicators, this difference, and maybe we not even need to go drill down to any specific category. We may just highlight key indicators from the top. And usually we use color coding, we use conditional formatting to highlight achieved goals and any problems. For example, here we look at sales achievement, target achievement, not even absolute value. And if I select any sales team, I can look at their indicators. Yeah, my sales goal is achieved, my communication networking goal is not achieved, or even if I click at any city, I can find all these details. Of course, I can read it in the table, but on top I see my key indicators, and that's and here we look at the pretty simple example when we have just 4 indicators. But usually we have more parameters. For example, let me show this dashboard about marketing campaigns, and we have actual value, we have our budget or any target, and also we have difference, so 92%, and not even for spendings, but for views, leads, sales, click-through rate, cost per lead, price. And when I select any category, I see the change of these indicators. And it's an example of not real simple project, and the really we had some different categories of users, and marketing managers were looking through channels, campaigns, but chief marketing officer just was tracking key indicators on top. And these indicators are combined from different visuals, and sometimes you can see some of them are frozen, or I can, for example, focus and get not just whole widget about my indicator, but it would be just a part of it. And another example, here we have stock market dashboard, and we have total value, we have a spark line which displays trend. So of course I can observe details in at this line chart, but to monitor key trend I can just look at the same at this indicator on top. And when we start develop these sophisticated charts, we deal with a problem. I will try to go directly to this point. So I need to put a lot of measures. I need to combine them, group them, and technically it takes more resources to get these different data flows, and it's not optimal way for report performance and for report development process. It takes a lot of time to align all these elements, and let me show. That's a real example. When we combined this pixel perfect card with specific data labels, with indicator versus target, versus last year, versus any benchmark, and according to the design which we developed for exact project, we need to align all these elements, and really we used eight different elements, and I was looking for a single visual element which I can modify, use, copy, paste, adapt to mobile layout, and really I didn't find and developed my own visual, but not actually before, but during this process I was researching for best practices, and really I developed a checklist, and so I wanted to start from my agenda, but really we are inside this process. So what I'm talking about importance of key indicators, and I faced the limitations of default Power BI cards, and started my research, tested all the existing visuals from App Source Gallery, and I will share my experience and figures which I come. And finally, today I have a gift for you, for those who will be with us till the end of this meeting. So that's my agenda. I'm already started to speak about it, and if you have any specific questions now, so please type it in the chat, or turn on your microphone and ask any questions, because I'm interested of your expectations of this workshop, and maybe I will find any additional materials and prepare another information. So please, or even message. Have you ever experienced with advanced visuals from Microsoft App Source Gallery, and was your experience positive or negative? Let me go to look through this chat. Yes, I see this chat, and I go back to my speech about limitations. So I was looking for ideal card, and that's a problem, for example, for beginner analyst, because when your customer, when your boss requires for all the important metrics, you just tile all the screen, and you don't have space for any data visualization, because you need to display actual value, target value, difference, for example, comparison with previous month, previous quarter, and I remember another one, the last example, which I was going to show you. So, for example, here we have comparison to the plan, quarter of quarter, year of year, and all these indicators need to be displayed. That's a challenge, how to display all these elements. But it's not only about technical approach, It's also about the method how you work with key indicators, and that's an example of the simple dashboard. And we combine several metrics on the single layout. So I display my actual sales, but also I display my difference to plan, my difference to previous year, or for example, I display my margin or profit, and I display indicator of ROI or percentage marginality. So I have a single title and several indicators related to this title. So one element, it's logically one indicator, my main measure, and my additional measures, metrics, or any other names for this indicator. And in this approach, it becomes possible to display all this, to combine all this information and provide space for data visualization for all the details about products, about trends, dynamics. That's our goal. And sometimes we need to use indicators. Sometimes we need to use some spark lines, additional elements, or a line on top or middle or left corner, so some points. And I've got my checklist how to define the best, not only define the best visual, but it's a requirement for any dashboard. Even if you work with Microsoft Excel, you should follow these rules, which I tested on hundreds of my clients and thousands of my students. So the first point is so it's a top title, and at this point I will start with my technical session, and so that's an example of our ugly dashboard. And let's start from the default card. So when we use our default visual card, I hope you have experience with this visual element, and really I like it. I have a single value, I have label. That's what I need. But when we look at all the dashboards, the first information is our title, our indicator, our values, and what is it? Millions, numbers, employees, average price, any percentage indicators. So title goes first. And if I use default simple card by Microsoft, I don't have such option. And sometimes I will I have some tricks how to display this title on top, and how it works. I go to the formatting, I turn off the category label, and I turn on the title. And here I type sales, and I align it, I may enlarge it, but this title gets directly to the border, the upper border of this visual. And if I'll turn on my background, you can see it. And unfortunately, I can't. There's no any padding options, even if I reduce the space, and it looks not so. It looks like a draft, and of course I can combine such visuals, And really, if I want so I have my total value, I have my deviation indicator, and I can combine these elements and I can group them. So what I have now, I have text label above these visuals, and I have enough space in between them. I have my value, I have my indicator, and I can set up conditional formatting without any specific parameters, just using standard conditional formatting for my color. It's a default feature. But I have this value, and also I have this text label. And if I group these elements, okay, it might work. But if I will use mobile layout, I will put, so my single element gets broken because I need to put every single visual, any text label, and really it's impossible to make it so clear on the mobile layout, and it's a lot of routine. That's a limitation of standard cards. But this summer, Microsoft released their advanced card, new card, and what we have here. Here we have title on top by default. That's a great news. And I put two measures here, sales actual and my calculated deviation. But if I want to repeat the same design, so I have my card label on top, I have my subtitle of my deviation, I can do this again because I have borders of two cards and I can't manually change their proportion. And really technically it works, but if I need to follow any real design, it becomes useless. And that's why we go and use additional advanced cards from App Source Gallery. Maybe you have your favorite card, so please type this name, which card you have used before or maybe tried to use. I go to chat. So I'm interested in your experience. And here we have a lot of visuals, and even if we will select the category KPI, what we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, so this about 100 of elements, and every month, every year we have a lot of new visuals, and most of them are just to be honest, they're useless, and they have no support, but there are a lot of trusted visuals. For example, my first love was card with states by OKViz. It's SQL BI, OKViz team from, I hope that you know these guys, Alberto Ferrari and Marco Russo. Cards, card with, because I'm searching it in the KPI category, but it's in other category. So card with states, that's we can find it, and let's observe its benefits. So Power KPI matrix, and that's how it looks. And I already have it in my report. And let's look how it works. For example, what's the key benefit? I will start from new page. When I select my sales actual and make it with card with states, and I select sales target, the first step, it will say that I need a paid version, because if I want to use multiple measures like advanced, but if I will move this field from value to target, it will work for free, but I don't see a target. I need to go to these parameters, data label, and show reference. And what I like, I don't need to read all the both. So my actual sales, my target, and my difference or deviation. Really, I have 21,000, and I see that I have, so I have 21,600, and I see that I exceeded for 3% my goal if I select a specific month. And that's how it works. That's pretty good. I have parameters for conditional formatting. Let's go to the second point. So we have observed conditional colors, and here I can set it using states, change color for data label or for variance label, reference label, and select comparison type and set any condition. For example, it would be 0. So I have, that's where we set it, and here we can look at this final view, and when I select different courses, here I have, let's finalize this conditional formatting. I go to my condition. If I exceed my sales goal, not so pale, it will be bright green. And if I my condition state reference label greater than, and my next condition will be if sum is less. Okay. I messed a bit. Okay, that's how it works. And what's the significant limitation of one point again, we have label below, but we must have data label on top. But here I can put just one additional measure, and this this chart allows us to display not only this comparison to versus target, but also, let me 1 second. I want to enlarge my and I want to fix my view. I go to my full screen mode and I can see my, I can't find the button how to zoom in. That's the problem. Oh, okay, now I have it. I hope something goes wrong in my demonstration mode. I will restart my screen share. Sorry for this interruption. Just 1 second. I will launch it again. Okay, I'm back and have some issues with screen sharing, and I tried to almost done it. Enlarge my screen. So what I mean when I talk about comparison month of months. For example, I have my target. I will find the appropriate month. Yes, in this month I didn't achieve my target, and my deviation is minus 43%. But month by month I'm growing, and this difference is positive. And sometimes it's very important to display these indicators, especially when companies have ambitious goals and they becomes unreal to achieve, and we compare our progress with ourselves, or maybe we compare to industry benchmark. But usually it's not enough to display a single indicator, and it was hard to find card template which allows us to display such information. And here we have that's an example of our multi-target KPI. It was our one of our demanding features, and we have some visuals with 2 indicators, but sometimes we must display even 3 indicators. For example, I will display an indicator of ROI, and I just add another one indicator at the same layout, and it looks perfect. And also, so let's go back to our checklist. So the first, it's top title, conditional colors, target value, and another important point, calculation presets. And that's what we have at card with states when we were observing. So we have data label, we have we show this reference, and we select reference type. For example, we may display just target, or change, absolute change, or percentage change. And I don't need to calculate these supplementary measures for all these calculations. That was not enough when we used this advanced new card from Microsoft. I need to calculate separately all the deviations, and the same approach we used for multi-target KPI. And these parameters we can choose value format for each additional measure, component type, change over measure, percentage change, and so that's the best practice for most of cards. And I want to introduce you another one interesting visual. That's dynamic card. Dynamic card. It also has 2 points, two additional measures, and really it works pretty simple and has its specific interesting features. So what we have in these parameters, key indicator name on top, that's great. The indicators and two comparison, and I don't, but unfortunately, what's the limitation? I can't select any pre-calculations, and I put here not. If I put here my target, sales target, to my comparison 1, it will also display absolute value, and that's why I need to calculate this deviation and use this supplementary measure. What's good that it has default parameters, so if it's minus, it's red, and our arrow goes down, it's positive, it's green, and arrow goes up. And really it works pretty simple. Comparison 2, 1, and I can change color. Maybe my expenses growth is negative, and I will display it with red color. And there interesting feature, so I can add conditional color for the frame, and also I can adjust, for example, line. And what we have here, for some products, I have when I achieve my goal, all this border gets green. In my opinion, that's enough to display green or red for indicator for color, but sometimes, so I like this idea. I don't use this visual because it takes, when we have 6 or 5 such cards in real dashboard, it becomes too bright, and these colors get noisy. But I like this idea, really pretty simple visual, which has, oh, I've broken something, which has its unique features. So, but it doesn't have calculation presets. It's not crucial, but it's nice to have. Next point, several targets. So what I already displayed, here we had 2 targets. What's wrong with my Power BI screen? I need to go to full screen mode, but something goes wrong. Okay, so next point, several targets, and sometimes we need to display even 3 targets, as I told you, as I displayed, and but actually not more than 3. And all the cards which we tested has maximum 3, and we didn't add 4s, 5s, because it will make our element overloaded. So it maximum 3, but usually the best practice is to have just 2 indicators, as I displayed it here. We compare, for example, to target, to any other baseline. That's the next point, several targets, 2 or 3. And the next point is icons, and that's what we have, arrows or bubbles for this dynamic card. And another one interesting visual element, that's ultimate card. It also allows to display 3 additional measures, and even not 3. We have here a matrix of 6 additional calculations: absolute value, percentage, and really sometimes it gets tricky how to exclude some unnecessary elements. And really, as for me, this element becomes overloaded. But what I like are these arrows, and I can go to this arrow settings. Here we have different styles with fill or without. We can change color. We can change type rectangle to circle. So not so many parameters, but some kind of adaptation. And really, it's a useful element. And for example, for our multi-target KPI, we don't have such function, and it's in our backlog. So that's icons. Next, popular and significant point. I call it micro visuals, but the most famous. Let's go. I'll go back to this multi-target card with states and try to add. Now I can. Oh, I still can display full screen. What's work? Okay. Card with states, and if I put any data field, I have date and trend line axis, and I can. Why I can't show it? Let me check. I have. Let's do it again. Sales actual and trend line. Date. Trend line axis. And something went wrong. I don't understand what. Because my filter by month was applied. Yeah. So that's how it works. If I put any data value, I can look at this micro chart, spark line, and really it's very useful to understand our trends when we dramatically rise or fall, and I can adjust this this spark line and make it not just look as a teeny line, but I can turn the area and get any colors. I can show all the data points, but really all the data points are useless without data labels, and I like their features that I can highlight highest point and lowest point. That's better. This, and when I hover it, I can see this 0 and this 12,000. That looks pretty good. Another interesting point that we have we can even use micro even waterfall charts. And another one famous vendor, the Zebra BI, it has their card visual, and here we have various. What's wrong? Various types of visualization, so default different micro cards, and even set different styles for our card, different icons. And the Zebra BI is, for me, it's the most advanced tool for KPIs, and it has many options, and such adaptive layout. I like it so much, but really it's not even simple card. It's a combination of a real chart and this card with value, with indicator, with title on top, and really it's a great tool. It has one disadvantage: it's paid, and it's the most expensive tool among all the cards. And I can design what we have style. I actually forget where I can change this visual, or I just can display all this. But that's the point, that we can use these micro charts, the spark lines, or even bar charts, waterfall charts, and get it in a single tool. And again, if we go to mobile layout, here I just put this visual, and according to my grid, it looks perfect. And if I will stretch it, oh yes, this orientation will be adopted. So that's why I highlight this mobile option, because year by year mobile dashboards becomes more and more demanded. 1 second. And let's go again to our checklist. So micro visuals, and we are in progress of building something simple and something new, and that's our multi-target KPI with a progress bar. Actually, progress bar and the same bullet chart. So we have our target value, and according to our completion of our goal, we display, we can see how we fill this this bar with our actual value. And we don't need to put any data labels here. It's not a bullet chart with all the labels, because I have my label here, 31,000, and I visualize my my difference versus target. And the next release of this card, we will have, so it's now it's our internal version. It's not available in the app source, but I hope that by the end of this month or in October we will make a new release with this feature. So that's a micro visuals. Next point, almost last, style presets. Here we it looks interesting for card with states from Ferrari and Russo, and we have different styles. For example, this, but it's too green. I like this light blue preset. Some presets looks weird, but that's a good feature. And Zebra also has such templates. Show template. Oh, I'm not at Zebra, so sorry. I'm trying to select Zebra, but I can't. do this. Okay, some mistakes. Okay, so also Zebra has their design presets, and we are going to use this function too. And the last point, and which takes the most time when we work with single elements, with all the data labels. For example, here we have, when I added my additional measure, for example, here I have target, absolute value, I have my deviation to target, my deviation to previous month. I'm trying to find any positive difference. Yes, I see. But sometimes I need, for example, how to do this, another layout, and I don't need to move anything manually. I use parameters. So how it works? I go to grid, additional measures, and layout type will be not vertical. So here we have vertical in a column, but I will make it horizontal in a row. But I see that there's not enough space to display all this, to display these 3 columns, and I will change the proportion. So no manual movement, grid, and percentage width between area for main measure and the area for additional. And let's find this balance. Looks better. So I will set 33, and that looks good. Another one point, so I want to display these subtitles the same level, and I will select for category label, position for measure name, not entire width, but above main label. That's how it goes, above main label, and really I may make it more compact, and it looks better when my main label and title are aligned to the left corner. So I go to alignment, horizontal, main measure left, and category left, and here it's has a pixel perfect alignment. And if you are non-designer, you can adjust it to any layout, any design. And also we have padding presets. For example, if you need to increase some space from top or from left or right corner, that's the last point. I call it fine tuning. So means all the design without any manual movement, only by parameters. So that's my checklist. And finally, there is no perfect visual which meets all these criteria. And what I finally got, so a maximum we have 6 points for each card, and some of them are paid and some of them are free. And really Zebra BI has the highest price. It's about $60 per month, but actually payment is annual, so you need to pay about $700. Ultimate card price is 100 forever. Actually, I forget about price for card with states, but all these templates, advanced features are also paid. And our card now it's absolutely free, and maybe sometimes when it will be so popular as Zebra or KVs, maybe we will get to make it paid. But now we do it for community, so really use it, test it, and save your time, save your nerves, so for all this alignment. So that's all for my keynote. So if you have any questions about these cards or about dashboard in general, so feel free and ask me.
Alex, I only see one question in the chat at the moment, and that is whether or not they'll be able to get the file to get practice as well.
Yes, I will send you this file, and also as I promised, I have a gift for all the participants, and I have another one tool. So it's not even a product, it's like utility, and we have these templates for card, which has this single element, but we have developed also this toolkit, this UI kit for dashboard in general. For example, we have a set of layouts. Simple 3-column for 3 KPIs, 4 KPIs, and let me show it. And if you are not designer, you can just take this template, take these chunks, and we also put all these titles for you and put your visuals inside these blocks. And also we have templates for the most popular basic visuals, and my visualization compass with some reminder how to choose these charts for according to data series. And if you want column chart, you go to this page, read these brief tips, just put, I'll show it, copy this element into your report. For example, here, I don't have the same data here, but if I will put my data here I have date and I have indicator, and I hope it will work. Yes. So, and if I will display just date, and all these colors, data labels, all these significant points which are necessary to remember forever, here we have, and all these beautiful tables, tree maps, and if you will type your email, I will send you this file. It's for free for all the participants, and really I'm interested in your feedback, feedback from technical professionals, not designers, how it helps you for reporting to save your time, and I will be grateful if you will share your experience later. That's my final gift. So thank you for invitation.
Yeah, thank you for coming. I appreciate it. Just for others, we will be having Alex back later in the year. That hasn't been formally announced yet, but now you know. So if you enjoyed his presentation, make sure that you keep watching our list for when the next one comes up. I want to thank everybody for coming. Thanks, Alex, for a great presentation. And we'll sign off for today. I'll get the video uploaded within the next 24 to 48 hours, and we'll post in the Meetup channel once it is available.